Okay, class. Our subject is about application development and emerging technologies. And when we talk about emerging technologies, it refers to commonly used and emerging trending technologies for for different application or programming or different applications development. But since there's thousands or many of the emerging technologies available today, we will just only select what is advisable or commonly used technology in our locality or available resources that we can use so that uh, we will not end with nothing to develop. No. So in my case or in our subject, we will use focus on mobile development, and this subject you will learn how to develop applications for mobile devices, smartphones, and tablets. You will also be introduced with survey the current platforms and mobile application development and environments, mobile device, input methods, as well as developing applications for Android. The learning outcome of this course is, of course, so that you can explain the mobile devices, including the capabilities and limitations of mobile devices. Use the current mobile platforms and their architectures, develop mobile applications on a popular mobile platform such as Android and iOS. But since most of you are using Android phones, so probably we will focus on Android development. Evaluate development with another mobile platform. So in programming Android, so we will talk about features of Android, architecture of Android, the Android developer community, and the Android SDK. So how Java and Android work together. First, in programming with mobile application in Android, we normally create code using Java. And that point, you need we need to compile the code which is written in Java. And Java will be in the process of compiling will be converted that into another form, and yung form na yan is tinatawag na DEX, Dalvik Executable Code or DEX. So from Java code, which is maintindihan natin, we ita-transform na niya the moment na pag-click mo ng compile into another form wherein maintindihan ni Android, and that is in a form of DEX or Dalvik Executable Code. So the compiling takes place on the development machine after we click the compile button. So that you will learn that one that soon na magagawa ka ng code in Java, and you are all familiar with Java codes since you had your programming in Java. And from that Java code, i-compile natin yan, and then mag-transform na siya into a language na maintindihan ni Android. So this is how exactly the architecture of the Android. So we know that things done on Android, we write code in Java of our own, which also uses Java code of the Android API. So this is then compiled into DEX. Pag-compile, diba? So dito maghimo code naton in Java using the integrated development environment na ginagamitan natin para mag-create ng code. And then, kukompile natin siya, magiging another form na siya into DEX code na. This is then compiled into DEX and run by the DVM or the Dalvik Virtual Machine. So, ang tatawagin na ngayon, di ba, pag sa DEX na, ito na yung maintindihan ni Android. So, pag the moment na i-execute mo na siya, ang tawagon na ni Android karon is the DEX na ipadaan niya na diri sa Dalvik Virtual Machine, which in turn has connections to an underlying operating system called Linux. So may connection na siya diri sa Linux, and then this is what we see in our Android phones. Siya. So the manufacturers of the Android devices and individual hardware components write advanced software called drivers to ensure that their hardware, CPU, GPU, GPS receiver also can run the underlying Linux operating system. Our compiled Java code, along with some other resources, is placed in a bundle, and that is called the an application, Android application package. So, i-compile na niya the moment na magiging working na. So, i-compile mo na siya. That is now the APK. So, that's why there are some applications na sa mga Androids, pag i-download mo, is in a format of APK na kasi nakabundled na siya into one. And this is what the DVM needs to run our application. So from this point, APK na ni siya. Pag-compile mo, yung Dix code mo, yun yung tinatawag na APK natin. Kasi ito yung tatawagin ni Android para ma-run yung program na to. So, the source code, mabili na sa developer side, sa imuang resources, sa imuang computer, i-compile mo siya into APK para ma-download na siya or ma-install na sa Android device. This process is explained with, no, as shown in the figure as I said kanina. Now, as you can see, there are mga terms pa dito about APIs. Later on, we will discuss about API. And the idea here is that you have to create program in Java, then compile it, and then magiging text code na siya, and that is the process of compiling, transforming your Java code into Android readable language code, and pag okay na, i-compile mo na siya into one bundle that is APK, and that is now the one that being called by the Android environment na may connection siya sa Linux, and then saka natin and Linux and other libraries with the help of your device hardware and softwares para mag-work siya together with your device and your program. So the Android API, this is API. As you can see, um, this is a single code, no? In your screen now, isang code lang yan siya. But in reality, an effect of that code is a line of code na nagsisearch siya ng available satellites to communicate sa imong location with the use of the GPS provider. So, isang single lang yan siya, pero yung trabaho niya is, ay, ito pala yung mag-code to check your location. So, that's why mapansin mo, using your mobile phones, pag post mo, alam ng makikita dahil kung din yung precise location mo. So, because yung application ng ginamit is mayroon siyang ganitong code. And this is an example of an API wherein hindi mo na kailangan maghimo pa sang taas-taas nga program just to to get the location of your phone, because the power now is relies on the Android API in conjunction with the DVM. So with understanding of Java codes, you will good understanding or skills with Java programming, because you will easily learn the way how to communicate or to read the syntax or the structure ng mga APIs. And of course, in Java is a object-oriented programming which is much longer than Android. Mas nauna pa kasi si Java programming language than Android. So So it uses, pag sinasabi nating object-oriented, it uses the concept of reusable objects. Pag may code ka na, you can reuse the code anytime kung saan naman siya applicable. 'Di ba? Pag create natin ng Java program in our previous programming language, in our activity, that Java ang extension. And then pag na-compile mo na siya, magiging that class or object, no? OBG na siya. OBJ or in a class is in a class. So there are now two files in ang makumpile niya, the object class and the source file which is the Java class. So learning how to read and code Java, we can begin also to learn and take advantage of the Android API. Why is it that it is necessary na kabalo ta mag read and write code sa Java para 'pag marunong na tayo magbasa kung ano yung purpose ng API niyan, you will also this will also help you lessen your coding. So instead, hala, paano sa program mag-connect sa satellite? Paano niya makuha na siya? So instead of thinking of ways how to do some coding, something like that, you just simply look for the API na maka answer sa imuhang needs, then you just simply write codes how to, to communicate with that, to work with the given API. And of course, in writing Java or Android programming, you also need development environment or IDE. The term that refers to having everything you need in order to develop, set up, and be ready to go in one place. So that's why meron na tayong Android Studio. So, 'di ba? Yeah, instead of installing pieces of programming languages or no, programming tools pag develop ng mobile app, pinaka requirement ko sa inyo the you just simply install Android Studio kasi nandun na yung mga all-in-one package na kasi siya. So Java code into Dex code that will run in using on the TVM. So and then the people's or in your devices. So in order to use Java code, so we need a free software called GDK. So kailangan natin ng GDK that includes other people's code which separate the Android API from the Android API. There's a whole range of tools required to develop Android. So kailangan din natin ng GDK. And some early development of Android, gumagamit sila ng Eclipse. But there are some, pag gagamit ka kasi ng Eclipse, it's more on, kailangan mo pa i-configure manually, ano yung mga, para mag-work siya. So, instead of that, mayroon na tayong Android Studio. So, that's why, in some mga releases, wala nang masyadong support sa Eclipse pagdating sa Android development. Pag automatically, pag search mo, pina-refer ka always to Android Studio. As I said kanina, there is this GDK. You just simply download it and double-click the downloaded file and follow the instructions, the GDK. If you have some Java na-install sa imong computer, pag-download mo ng GDK, if it is a latest GDK, i-replace lang niya yung old GDK mo and then you can use with the updated one. So to install Android development tools like your IDE and then JDK and how to configure it, just follow the link. And then you can also message me so that I can assist you in installing Android development tools. So that's all and keep safe everyone.